Welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Caryn, episode 62. Thank you all for being patient with me. I was finishing up a couple of things before I left for Sedona this afternoon. I'm going to let you all log on for a second while I hook up Instagram. Let me know when you're here. I love you all. We're going to be kind of doing a fast and dirty live today because I am getting ready to leave in just a couple of hours to go to Sedona, Arizona for the week. There is something magic happening there. I tell you what, I hear a lot of you might be there, so make sure if you're going to reach out, let me know. Okay, ready? Okay, set live on IG. Hi, everyone. Hi, Chase, you're here. Hi, everyone on Instagram. Welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Caryn, episode 62. We're going to be talking about holding the frequency. And this isn't going to be so much of one of those how videos, although I'm going to give you some how tips. You know that's how I am. But this is going to be a lot more of that why, that inner why do I give a fuck? Okay. I know that a lot of you have been wondering, like, Caryn, when are you going to weigh in on what's going on in the election? When are you going to weigh in? You're going to be president of the United States soon. Why are you not commenting? And the reason why I'm not commenting is because the current reality we're in is not the reality we're going to be in when I run for president. So I just don't give a fuck. I really don't. And I know that that sounds like I have no empathy and it sounds like blah, 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 blah. I don't care because I am currently creating so much bliss and so much joy and so much love for all of you. I've spent the entire week dark in my cave, in my hole, and I've been creating an amazing value ladder for you. So there is the Pillars of Freedom, which is a free 3-day mini course that I've created for you. The Accelerated Ascension Bootcamp, which is a really low offer, 5-day series for you to be able to move through the ascension symptoms, how to deal with the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies so that you can really embody the truth of who you are, which is a God playing a human experience game. And then I've repackaged and redone the Freedom Frequency Shift as a self-led course so that you can walk yourself through those modules and really connect in your own space and time over the course of about 2 weeks is what I hope that you're able to do, maybe faster. So that's what I've been doing for you. I've been creating. I've been in full-on creation mode. I haven't been in consumption mode. I haven't been consuming really anything. I'm going to move you guys Instagram so I'm not like shifting my eyes so much because it really bugs me when I do that. Okay. So, holding the frequency. Let's talk about holding the frequency. Holding the frequency means that you have to remember. Yes, I love you, Chase. You're amazing. Let's actually calm down for just a second. We're going to light a candle. We're going to set the intention that we are going to able to communicate clearly that this is all going to land exactly as it needs to for each one of you. And that we're going to have a lot of fun while we're doing this, while we talk about the idea that you can hold the frequency of whatever reality you want, despite all of the crazy shit that might be going on around you. Okay. We're going to light a little bit of Palo Santo, clear our space, clear our heads. I should have done this at the beginning, but I was actually finishing up recording something because it didn't record. It happens. We go with it, right? Always bringing it in a figure 8 motion, whatever it is, your incense, your sage, your palo santo, bringing the duality into the singularity so that you can create this nice little pocket of space and time for you right now. Okay, perfect. Holding the frequency. What do I mean by holding the frequency? What I mean by that is that so many of us walk around making intentions all day long, and then when they don't happen immediately, we're like, well, magic doesn't work. And the best example that you guys know that I use all the time is your new moon intention settings, right? So we all sit around on the new moon and we set an intention that this is how this is going to be. And I'm going to just use the example of what I'm working on right now, just so that you guys can really get a feel for this. So I'm working into stretching into $100,000 a month. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if I can have that sort of resource, then I'm going to be able to hire more people out and help my team grow. And then by helping my team grow, I'm going to be able to help more people around the world. We're going to be able to set up more events. We're going to be able to really grow and expand this empire so that There are thousands of people that are tuning in every day, right? There are thousands of people that are getting this information. There are thousands of people moving from unconscious to conscious to super conscious in a way that's fun and easy and playful, and not like bang your head against the wall all the time. Of course, you're going to bang your head against the wall. That's a part of moving out of the current paradigm, because it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to decide that what's going on in the world doesn't actually affect you. So the intention being to create $100,000. There's a why behind it, right? It's not just for personal gain. It's not just because I want to be a multimillionaire, even though that does sound really cool. It's because I want to serve, not save, to serve the planet in my highest capacity, and to really, truly show you what it's like to be the embodiment of what's possible. You guys know that 3 years ago, I was overweight, I was depressed, I was suicidal, I had fibromyalgia, I had degenerative arthritis. I literally had no idea if I was ever going to make it to my daughter's 18th birthday without killing myself. And here I am. Now, none of those things apply to me. I don't have fibromyalgia. I don't have degenerative arthritis. I am not depressed. I'm not suicidal. And I'm definitely not overweight. I was able to completely shift my reality into something new. And because of that, I have so many things that are available to me that were always available. They were always there. There were always other people creating these things, but I didn't think that I could have it because I hadn't done the inner work to alchemize and shift and change the stories that were inside of me, right? You have the ability to rewrite your story, but that means that you have to hold it. Okay. So going back to the intention, my intention of creating $100,000 a month. Well, how am I going to do that? I've never done it before. So why would I just like know that it's going to happen? Well, the first thing we have to remember is that an intention is something that we know and claim to be right now. Because we are infinite beings of light and time and space doesn't actually exist, we have to remember that we have the ability to truly and completely claim something right now, and the longer that we can claim it and we can hold it in our mind's eye, the easier it is for the universe to deliver it to it, the quantum field to respond to the photons being sent out of my brain. My biophotons go out with my thoughts, and then it has to go through all of the infinite possibilities in which way that that's going to come to me, and then come back to me as a reflection of the reality that I'm actually experiencing. This makes sense. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah. Ooh, Carla. Not being attached to the current reality. Yes. So good, Carla. Hi, babe. Um, okay. So I love that Carla said that she's not being affected by her current reality. So when you're not being affected by your current reality, this is because you have really decided that you are the one creating your reality. You realize truly that your current reality that you have is simply a reflection of past thoughts that you've had, and that your new reality is going to be based on the current thoughts that you have. Okay, so if you're willing to change your current thoughts now, then your future is going to be different. And this is why I teach you guys about your superconscious resources, how to become your own psychic. You don't need to go out there and spend thousands of dollars on tarot readings or life map readings or whatever the fuck else is available out there. You can learn how to channel your own divinity, how to resource your own divinity. And resourcing your own divinity, honestly, in this day and age, is the most radical act one can commit. Like, period. To walk into a room and be like, I am God, and I love you so much, I'm going to show you that I am, so that you can see that you're also God, so that we can all work together and change this fucking planet together, instead of it just being a couple of us or 144,000 of us or whatever the fucking thing is that's going on today that says that there's not going to be a lot of us. I have a goal to help 8 billion people ascend out of the illusion of suffering. I don't know about you all, but that's a big goal. But 8 billion people absolutely deserve to live the freedom that I live. Period. End of discussion. That is what I am here to do. That is the service I am here to have on the planet. And I'm, oh, so good, Carla. Makes me so happy. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy going on. And I won't lie, I've detached. I've completely detached. Yesterday, someone tried to tell me about um, whoever is like projected to win. And I literally was like, that's really funny. You guys don't understand how the Electoral College works. You have zero clue how your civics worked. And that's something that I'm going to be working on next year, actually, is creating some civics courses for the super conscious, so that we can start dismantling the current political paradigm and putting it back together in a way that serves humanity. Yeah, 8 billion people. That's what we're going to do. We're going to shift the entire planet into higher realms of consciousness by creating new Earth. Period. That's what's happening. So I set the intention, okay? Holding the frequency, holding it. I've got big visions, guys. You know this. Serving 8 billion people, helping them move into new Earth, being the first female president of the United States of America. Right now, I'm focused on creating $100,000 a month in my business so that I can really grow and become that millionaire mompreneur that I already embody, but see it reflected in my bank account. Am I right? And that's going to allow me to help more people as well by being able to hire out people and to do all sorts of things that are for the benefit of everyone and be able to spend more time with my kids, maybe hire a cook, hire someone that's going to help with the cleaning, all these things that even in the times of the Rona are possible because there are other people doing it, right? In my personal opinion, if I can see just one other person doing it, then I know that I'm capable of doing it too. I just have to tune into my body and be like, is this something that I really want or is it not? So you set your intention on the new moon or whenever it is, the beginning of the month, the new moon, the whatever. You set your intention and you say, this is what I want. And you can start to feel it. All intentions need to have a body feel behind it. This is what the Freedom Frequency Shift course is really going to start tuning into more for you guys when it becomes available, is this idea deep down in your soul that you can feel your manifestation already happening before it's in your physical reality, right? So if I tune in and I think, what does it feel like to have $100,000 this month? And it feels warm and kind of gooey, like warm chocolate. Ooh, it actually kind of tastes like cacao. Mm. And makes my hands sort of buzz and it makes my heart flutter a little bit. I can see the money in my bank account and I can see all of the people that have purchased the courses and how their lives are changing. And I can see how they're then rippling that information out into people that I don't even know right now, but they're telling their friends and they're telling their family. And it's creating this structure so that we really can move in one big wavelength out of this fear paradigm and across the bridge to freedom, right? To cross that bridge of liberation, to be truly not living in a space of fear, but living in a space of freedom. And so I attach that to a body feel inside of me. And all day, every day, I keep checking in. Okay. This is not just a first thing in the morning before I go to bed thing. This is all day, every day. When I find out that the first video of my course didn't record, well, tune in. Do I feel like I'm in alignment with that intention that I'm creating 100 grand? Oh, I do. Then it's time to record. My kids start fighting in the hallway. I get a little irritated and then, oh, wait, hold on. Am I in the frequency of that $100,000? No? Okay, let me shift. And that takes a couple of things. I teach that to you in the course, but just a few deep breaths, remembering who you are, remembering what you are, and remembering how you serve. So let's go over who are you, what are you, and how you serve. Who are you? You are a fractal of God. You are a fractal of the source. You are a fractal of the all. You are a fractal. So this is why you guys always see me use a diamond all the time. You are a fractal of the infinite potential field here on earth. So what you are is God manifested form. You are a God manifested in form. You just kind of forgot it because of all of the lifetimes that you've spent as a human and all of the past programming and all of the other things that have been going on. So you have that, who you are, a fractal of God, what you are, God manifest in form, and how you serve is by singing your own song or living your own individual life the way that you know best to do. So serving that divine mission, serving what's on your heart, even if it doesn't make sense to other people. It makes no sense to most of the people in my life that I want to be president of the United States and that I want to serve 8 billion people by creating a new earth. It doesn't. None of that even fucking registers to them. But I know it. I know it in my heart. I know it in my bones. I know it in my soul that is what I am here to do. And so no matter what, I am willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what, even if it looks bad, right? This idea of moving into super conscious, I tell you all the time, we're transcending the idea of morality, because morality is not allowing you to be a whole person. Like Carl Jung said, I'd rather be a whole person than a good person. So this means that you really need to transcend the idea of what's good and what's bad, and instead start working with what is. And what is that I'm going to be serving about, if we break down the numbers, approximately 300 to 500 people this month to create $100,000 this month, so that I can then repeat the process again in December. I can have an amazing holiday season with my kids. I can hopefully do some traveling and do things that in other realities, other people realities, oh my God, you're going to travel for the holidays? Don't you know that there's a thing? Not in my reality, there's not. And it's not that I'm not compassionate. It's not that I'm not, being super safe in all the ways that I can. But when you're vibrating so high, there are certain things that really just can't touch you. They just can't. They can't touch you because you're not thinking about them. One of the biggest things in the Accelerated Ascension Bootcamp that I just recorded that you learn, yeah, integrity, not morality. Yes, Dahlia. Fuck. Yeah, babe. Integrity, not morality. Are you in integrity with your intention? So it would be really fucked up if I came and told you all these things and then like went out into the world and started like doing all the 3D things, like the and all the other things that would tell me that I'm not in my reality, tell you that I'm not actually living my word, right? So I tell you all the time that you have to have those impeccable standards and you have to hold them in supreme integrity, meaning that you have to keep your word. Meaning if I come on here and I talk for 20 minutes about how I radiate at a higher frequency and then I go out into the world and I start acting like I'm scared of it, that's not in integrity, right? You got to follow through, right? Follow through with your word. And in the Accelerated Ascension Bootcamp, when we talk about the mental body, I really start to teach you about how what you focus on is what becomes your reality. So again, your brain, this brain in here, radiates 1 billion biophotons a minute. 1 billion biophotons. Photons are light, as we know, and scientists have been able to actually prove that the light interacts, right, with other parts of the universe. I'm actually going to pull up my notes just so that I quote this correctly. Okay. Quantum entanglement says that two entangled photons react if one of the photons is affected, no matter where the other photon is in the universe, without delay. So holding the frequency. What is your intention? In fact, you guys start spamming. Tell me what is your intention for November. We're going to make this easy. We're going to make it a short-term goal. I know I've given you some of my bigger ones, but what is your short-term goal for November? We're only on the 8th. It's going to be delicious. We got the 11/11 portal coming. It's going to be so good. Tell me some of your intentions so that we can really start breaking this down. It's not just my intention that we're working with, but really truly understand. And it's actually 1 billion biophotons per second. Excuse me, not per minute. Per second. That's what your brain is emitting. With every thought that you have, with every word that you speak, you're emitting 1 billion biophotons. So that means 1 billion ways that it's interacting with the rest of the universe and then coming back to you. But you have to hold on to the one vision. And I know that this is super hard for a lot of people because then they start getting buyer's remorse, right? They're like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have intended for that because how many other things am I like losing out on? You're not losing out on anything. You're just choosing what it is that you want right now and focusing on it until it happens. And the more that you do this, the more you're willing to like really create that reality, then you notice that it happens faster. And this is what I talk about with living in a constant stream of miracles, because you learn how to focus on something and then your the delivery service from the universe, because you've thought about that so much and you've thought on that same path so much, starts happening damn near instantly. And then some of the bigger goals might take a little bit longer, but then you've learned how to hold the frequency because you've taken the freedom frequency shift and you know exactly how to do that. And you are able to have patience and you get to be unattached from the how, and even from the when to some extent, although I am working more on the when by having some of these dates. Like, okay, on November 30th, by November 30th, 2020, I, Caryn Terrace, will have in my possession $100,000 or more in cash, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim, right? I have these mantras that I have, but I'm saying them while I'm driving in my car. I'm saying them not just in front of my mirror naked, although you know that I do that too. But I'm doing it all the time. If something happens with my husband, then I'm saying them. If something goes on, I do end up finding out about something happening in the 3D through mainstream media. I'm going to tune back into my mantra that I've created, and I'm going to go back to that body feel that's in my heart. Okay. Finish my studies off and set up my creative business. Okay. Manifest 10K so I can get my own place. Yes. Okay. So Carla, you can use what I've already been talking about for yours since it's a money related thing. I'm not going to like jump into that. And you guys know you can always message me, by the way. Like my inbox is always open. If you have questions, feel free. Chase, finish my studies off and set up my creative business. Okay, so I'm going to give you your little tiny piece of how right now. Okay, just your little one, because I have created an entire value ladder of how for you guys to jump into, which is launching on 11/11. We're just cleaning up everything and getting it all ready so that we can launch into the stratosphere. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so the structure that's needed. This is the huge thing that I don't think that enough people talk about in the spiritual world when they talk about setting intentions. They set the intention and they're like, when you wish upon a star, right? They're just like, oh, I made a wish. And then they spend the whole rest of the month being like, okay, but what if that wish doesn't come true? Okay, well, then I have to come up with a plan B and then a plan C and then a plan D. And the more backup plans you have, the less potent your original intention becomes, which is why it's so important to have a mantra. So Chase, it would be set a date, right? By this date, I, Chase Keller, will enter your thing. Okay. Well, Alicia, girl, you still here? Can you type this out for me? This is how you guys set up your mantra for your intention. By blank date, I blank person, your name, will blank and fill in your intention right there. And that's it. You put that shit on a sticky note, you put it in your phone, you do all these things so that you are constantly being tuned back into that frequency. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm holding. Hold on. Honey, you need to go cuddle with your dad. I'm on a live stream. Thanks, love. You can come get me in a minute, honey. I'm just finishing up. I'll be out soon for breakfast. See if they actually go. My kids might come in. um, create multiple streams of income. Yeah. So you would say, I'm going to use November 30th. By November 30th, 2020, I, Patricio, Costa Rica, will create multiple streams of income, period. And then I am awaiting a plan by which to complete this, accumulate this money. If it's a money goal, then you can say accumulate this money. I will hit 3A. I don't know what 3A is in my magic. Yeah, perfect. So you have to have the first statement, what it is you're going to do by a date. Okay, this is why I say you start focusing on the when, because since you're the one that creates time and space, and so many of you are entrepreneurs and you don't have like some other person setting deadlines for you, you need to set your own fucking deadline. Okay, I know that you're like me, you're a procrastinator. I set myself a deadline that I wasn't going to go to Sedona unless I finished all my videos, and I literally finished my last video this morning. And I leave for Sedona in approximately 5 hours. So good. I actually finished it yesterday, but one of them didn't record, so I had to re-record it. So you set yourself the date, and then you say, I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this intention, by which to receive this intention. And I will follow that plan when it is received. Okay, this is the structure. Do you know the reason why I've had a business for 2 years now that launched at 5 figures? I launched my business with a $12,000 deal, and I have hovered at that mark for that long. Some months making literally nothing. Transparency. This is my thing, right? Full transparency. Some months having nothing, literally no sales, nothing, nothing, nothing. While other people I knew were like just like right past me, like had no business, then creating like multiple 6 figures by the end of the year. And I'm just sitting around like, what the fuck's going on? Well, here's the thing about me, dragon, right? Kind of hate rules, kind of like to rebel, kind of chaotic. I didn't have the structure necessary to receive what it is that I wanted because I didn't want to do it. I literally, like, I have no excuse. I rebelled for the sake of rebellion. I saw all these other people doing it this one way, and I was like, nah, I don't have to do it that way. And now I've come full circle, which is really funny that Chase said that. I've come full circle, and I'm like, no, actually, having structure, having a way to have passive income, having a way to continue to grow and to be able to serve more people, right? I want to serve 8 billion people. I'm not going to be able to do that one on one. I'm just not. So I put my head down for the last 2 weeks or so. Yeah, since about the time that the moon went in, or the sun went into Scorpio, I've put my head down and created not one, not two, but three amazing products that are going to help you all really easily hold on to this foundation of freedom so that you too can accelerate your ascension path and be living in your own freedom frequency. All of them are offers that are much lower than what I've offered in the past, and all of them are meant to help you continue to grow and move. And then, of course, I still have my one on ones. And of course, I still have my retreats. And of course, I still have my books that I'm writing. And I still have my podcast that I'm creating. I have all these other things that are creating. And honestly, the more that I have my structure around me by following the plan that was received, by following the plan, I hired a coach and then literally for 2 months was just like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. And then the last 2 weeks have done it and have exponentially grown in so many ways, not only in my business, but in my personal life, in my relationship with my clients, with my relationship with my kids, with my relationship with just money in general. You have to have a structure. You have to have a structure, people. Set your intention. So, Chase, we're going to come back to you. If you create yourself a structure, I want to finish my studies. Set up a study schedule and fucking keep it. This is where your tough loving dragon mother is going to come out right now. Fucking keep it. Okay, I'm a procrastinator extraordinaire. I understand, but I still got my shit done. I'm still going to Sedona because I got my shit done. And guess what? If I hadn't gotten it done, I would have had to keep my word and cancel my plans. I really didn't want to cancel my plans to go to Sedona, especially not the way that it's all worked out and all the magical people that are going to be down there and this, that, and the other things that I could like go on for another hour about. So I got my shit done. I've been waking up at 4:30 in the morning for the last week so that I had it done before the kids woke up so that they weren't doing what they're doing right now, which is standing outside of my door. I have been staying up later. I've been focusing on making sure that during the daytime I am with my kids and I am doing their school. We also added a whole new curriculum to their homeschooling, like full on curriculum. I've been unschooling for 2 years. We actually have like a curriculum right now. And so many other things. We've been cleaning out the house, Marie Kondoing, and all this stuff. So, yeah, procrastinate. You can. You have to have the structure. So if you come to Sedona, Carla, get in a fucking car and just drive there. Just come. Just come. You'll find somewhere to stay. Trust me, there's enough of us staying there somewhere. You'll figure it out. Get your ass to Sedona. If you want to come to Sedona this week, guys, there's going to be a whole bunch of us there. It's going to be magic. You have to create a structure. And then again, you create your reality. You create your You create your reality. So, yes, what's going to happen? You're going to set yourself up a study schedule and your kid's going to get sick or something else because this is the past, right? Your previous thoughts are going to go out or have gone out, and you're going to create a new thought, and your previous thoughts are going to come back at you. and something's going to happen and it's going to force you to wobble, right? You're going to be like, ah, fuck, I can't keep my schedule. This happened and that happened and this happened and that happened. And then you're going to go back to your body feel and you're going to be like, wait, what does it feel like when my studies are done? Oh, yeah. It feels like swimming and diving deep in the ocean. Oh, the freedom of looking at all the beautiful fish. I know Chase is a diver, so that's why I'm using this. Yeah. You have to give yourself a reward too, okay? This is what really helped me. My reward was Sedona, right? I've had my Airbnb booked. I have had this plan to go for a while now, since the end of August. It's the end of August, I've been wanting to go to Sedona. All this shit happened. The retreat happened. The retreat didn't happen. This blah, 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 whatever. And now I'm going on my own, driving down with one of my best friends, meeting up with more best friends while we're down there, having a whole soul famine time, although I'm going to be taking a lot of solo time to just meditate and figure out what's my next steps. And I gave myself a reward. Okay, I am not getting in the, I literally haven't even packed. My friend's coming to pick me up at fucking 3 o'clock this afternoon, and I'm still not packed yet. Talk about procrastinator. Because, because, because I told myself I was not going to Sedona unless I got all of my videos recorded, all the workbooks finished, all of the slides done, all of the images created, so that I could then take this beautiful project and hand it off to my amazing, beautiful assistant, Marikar, who is the shit, who is amazing. Shout out to Marikar in the Philippines. You saved my life, lady. And so she can work on it, right? And I am going to bring my laptop down. I'm going to have some things that I'm working on, and we're launching the entire Freedom Value Ladder on 11/11 from Sedona. Like, fuck yeah. But I was not going to do it. I literally haven't packed because I knew I needed to keep my word. And now I can go pack, and I'm staying in a tiny home in the woods. I don't need to pack that much stuff. I'm like way overdressed right now from how I'm going to look the rest of the week. So you need to create your plan. You have to you use the tools. Channeling, right? 2-pen channeling method. You guys have talked about it 100 times. You can go look on my page. Yeah, it is my intention. So yeah, so by November 22nd, 2020, I, Alicia Brown, will manifest at least 100,000. So instead of at least $100,000 or more, and I'm awaiting a plan by which to receive it, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Exactly. Perfect. So that's what you do. That's why. It's why you have to hold your frequency. Why it's so important is because you're going to get shit that comes back at you, because you've had previous thoughts that are out there in the universe that are, as soon as you shift your frequency, that's going to come back and be like a test, right? The reason why I tell you all that I train energetic Olympians is because it's like being with an Olympic athlete's trainer, right? You're sitting there getting beat on all the time by all of your past beliefs are coming back and being like, hey, are you sure? Are you sure you want to change? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And you have to hold. You're like, yes, absolutely, I'm going to change my ways. Because who I am now is not who I'm going to be when I have whatever it is, fill in the blank, your intention. What got you here, babes and gentlemen and everyone in between, is not going to get you there. I'm going to repeat that again. What got you here is not going to get you there. You have to shift. You have to figure out who that person is. What do they do? Do they wake up at 4:30 in the morning every morning so that they can have their hour and a half meditation me time before they start working at 6 o'clock, so that by the time their kids wake up at 7:30 they can be done and ready for breakfast? Holy fuck, I never thought I'd be that person, but I am. And that's how I've been able to create this structure, how I've been able to create the abundance, how I've been able to get enrollments before we're even technically launched. Because I've been holding the frequency. This is what I'm doing. Another example is Sedona. I really wanted to drive down with someone. I'm going to leave this last example because it's an easier one. Maybe it's not a money related one. And there wasn't a lot. This is actually hilariously kind of the opposite of what I just told you all, but that's because super conscious living is a paradox. I really didn't want to drive to Sedona by myself. It's a 9-hour drive. I'm taking my dog. I didn't want to have to stop and like find some motel to stay at halfway through or any of this crap, right? So the entire time that I've been wanting to go down to Sedona since the beginning of October, I've been holding the vision in my mind's eye that I am going to drive down with someone. I'm going to drive down with someone. We're going to have a great time on the drive. What they do once they're there doesn't matter. What I do once I'm there doesn't matter. I can get an Uber, I can get whatever. Like, that's not a big deal. What matters is that I don't want to drive alone. I tend to take all of my big trips by myself, and I'm just fucking tired of it. And so that's what I held. I've been holding it. I've been holding it. I've been holding it. I had a person say that they were going to. Someone else said blah, 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 blah. And so I would visualize in my head, what is it like to drive down with someone? What is it like to have the dog in the back seat while we're doing that? We have to take some rest stops. We have to do this, that, and the other. And literally yesterday at 4 p.m., my friend was like, okay, I'm 100%, I'm going. Yesterday. Luckily, it had a car backed up. I did have a backup plan, but I wasn't focused on it. Even when I hadn't heard back from my friend yet whether or not they were coming, I was like, okay, you know what? The backup plan is that I take my dad's car because I didn't want to have to deal with the rental bullshit. Rentals in Utah are stupid. You can't get a rental in them on the weekend, so I was gonna have to rent a car for like 10 days or something like that when I only needed it for 5. And so I knew that it was there. So I knew the structure backup plan was like kind of hanging out in the background, but I wasn't thinking about it. Even my dad texting me on Friday being like, hey, so what's the plan? When are you coming to get the car? All I responded was, I'm waiting to find out if I have someone to go with instead. I'll let you know. Right? Yay. Oh, Chase. I know. Chase is amazing. She lives in Australia and stays up to listen on Sundays. Like, round of applause. So fucking cool. So let me think. That's it. So now I have someone that's going with me and we're driving down. It's gonna be fucking epic and they're gonna do whatever they do and I'm gonna do whatever I do and then we're gonna meet back up on Friday and we're gonna drive home. Like, it's so perfect. But I had to hold that frequency. I had to hold the feeling and then be detached, right? I had a date, November 8th. I gotta have someone that's gonna drive down with me. I knew what it was going to feel like to be able to drive down with someone and not have to sit there in silence and just listen to audiobooks or whatever, to be able to have really good connections and conversations. I knew that I didn't want it to be like, I wanted it to be one of my high vibe, like spiritual friends that went down with me just because of where I was going, right? And the energy that I was going to be building. And I knew that I wanted them to be able to come back with me on the same day, right? So not just someone that was driving down to Sedona that was like, yeah, I can get there, but I don't know how you're going to get back, right? And that was it. That's all I held the whole time. And I wasn't attached to who it was. And I wasn't attached to when they were going to tell me. Like, it just had to be before I was going to need to leave on today, right? And I did that. I did that. Not only, okay, guys, 2 more minutes. I did that. I built, yeah, 3 more minutes. Set a timer. See, this is what I do with my own. This is how I also create structure. I used to be one of those moms that was like, give me 5 minutes. And I'd be like 15 minutes. So I taught my 5-year-old how to set the kitchen timer and I'll tell him a minute. And then that's how I keep my word, right? I can also see it on my countdown. And we've pretty much wrapped up now. But does that make sense, you guys? That's how you hold, or why it's so important to hold the frequency, is because the how starts to present itself. The structure comes in. The more you think about, on this date, by this date, I'm going to blank, right? That's structure in and of itself, because so many of us don't set ourselves deadlines, or if the deadline comes, we're like, well, no boss is trying to tell me what to do, so it doesn't matter. That's not keeping your word. That's not being in integrity. None of that, right? I, Rose Hart, will manifest all support I need to live my vital life force energy to create my new home, play, and work life my heart desires by November 21st, 2020. I am open to receive any and all needs. That's awesome. Yeah, perfect. I would just say, Rose, make sure you add to that that you are awaiting the plan by which to have that intention happen, right? Like, who I am now is not who I'm becoming. What does she do every day? Exactly. You have to tap in. This is how you become your own psychic, people. This is resourcing your own divinity. This is being a super conscious leader. This is what we're here to do. This is the fucking work, okay? This is the work. This is the work. Be in integrity with your word. Set standards for yourself. You are the only one that's keeping your own standard. What's the second line of the intention setting again? Okay, I'm going to by date I name will have intention. I am awaiting a plan by which to receive intention, and I will follow that plan when it is as. You are not going to get everything all at once, by the way. Like, you're going to get pieces of the plan. Like, I knew about the freedom frequency shift. How long you guys been hearing me talk about that, right? They were dragon invocations, and then I shifted them to the freedom frequency shift. And then I got this hit when I was downloading, or I downloaded this hit while I was meditating, that I needed to create that into a self-led course. I didn't know that. I knew that I was changing the name. I knew all this other stuff, but I didn't know that that was the new plan. So I did that. And as soon as I started creating the self-led course for that, this smaller offer came in, the Accelerated Ascension Bootcamp, which is only a 5-day class. And it's honestly, you could binge the whole thing in like an hour. And you can just, like, that's a little thing. And then as I was making that, this little, like, pop up, when you go to people's websites, they have the pop up and they're like, download my free PDF. This was like a 3-day little mini course, right? So it really is like creating the pillars of freedom with the free mini course, then accelerating your ability to have that foundation in the Accelerated Ascension Bootcamp. And if you're really ready to fucking supercharge your ascension, then you have the freedom frequency shift. And once you do that, you're going to be so fucking blown away. You're going to be like, Caryn, I don't know how I work with you one-on-one, but please, for the love of God, get me into one of your retreats. Let me work with you one-on-one. And you're going to see how you can then continue to serve the planet. I am helping create more foot soldiers because I can't help 8 billion people ascend into new earth by myself, but I can help thousands. I can help hundreds of thousands, and then the ripple effect continues outwards. And because I know that my vision is this big, I am divinely supported by having the monetary resources to do this. When you plug in to your divine mission, the planet is like, oh my God, you need money to do that? Here. Money is an unlimited resource. Here, do that. You can do that. When you're trying to get money for personal gain, when you're doing it because you're running away from debt, because you're running away from literally, if you feel like you're running away from anything, you're using fear, you ain't going to manifest shit doing that. The way you manifest is by motivation from freedom, not from fear. Okay? Yep, that's it. They're going to pop through the door any seconds. Thank you so much. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. I'm going to check in probably from Sedona at some point, and make sure you have your eyes out. 11/11, we launch the Freedom Value Ladder. I love you all. See you soon.